Hi, everybody. Yeah.
I don't need the YouTube link. I need you to open up the window that's actually broadcasting the webinar. I need you to copy that URL and send it to me. Not the YouTube link. I don't need to watch it. I have a panelist link. What I need you to do is copy the URL out of the actual broadcast window and paste that over into a message to me. The direct URL. Not the watch URL, not the YouTube URL. The direct URL is on the top of your browser window of the webinar on air.
You know what? It looks like it started it in, for some reason it started it in Hangouts.
It doesn't matter. It still has a URL up top. That's not a YouTube watch URL. That's the actual URL for where you're at.
Okay. So this very top one, even though it says Google Hangout?
Yeah, that, exactly.
Okay, here it comes.
Okay.
Hi, Whitman. Bert and I are still trying to work this out. He should be in here pretty soon. Technology, you know. This is the first time I've done it this way. I'm going to stick my earphones in. Whitman, do you have a question for anybody to ask, for Bert to ask anybody while he's interviewing? Can you hear me?
All right. Can you hear me, Chris?
I can.
All right. Awesome. So if you want to go ahead and open up a screen share, Chris, so that you and white box yourself so they can see your screen but hear my voice, what we're going to do is go over to my fan page on Facebook, and I want to show the 3 different videos that I created just out of a keynote. So out of a PowerPoint presentation, what I did was I simply made the PowerPoint. We did a webinar on this just the other day. And what I did was I actually just recorded the narration over it and saved it as a movie. So it actually saved everything as a movie. So I could just upload these movies right to Facebook. So on my fan page, you're going to see I did 3 different versions of the same idea. So I did one with like a chalkboard background that has my logo and says, "Who is Bert Bledsoe?" And I put the writing like chalk, like I wrote the writing in chalk was the font. And then I did another one that was just all white. So it's just a white background with a white text. So just go to Facebook, Chris, and just go to my Facebook page.
I'm trying.
And then the last one that I did was an actual picture of me. So I did 3 versions of the same idea so that I could split test not really which version would work better, like which image, but really I was trying different audiences. So I targeted Network Marketing Pro with Eric Worre. And then I sub interest by 3 different people that were speaking at the event. So I did a Ray Higdon interest. I did a Tony Robbins interest. And I did one other interest, and I believe it was Robert Kiyosaki. So out of the 3 different ads that we've got running right now, I set them to run starting yesterday. So yesterday, all of today, and all of tomorrow. And I set them at a $15 maximum limit, so it would be $5 per day. So it's gone, and it actually on the first day, it doesn't spend the whole amount because it doesn't start charging until your ad gets approved. So because of that, up to right now, I've barely just spent $5, not even quite $5 per ad, so $15 total. And the first ad, the one with the chalkboard behind it, has reached over 627 people. The all white ad has reached over 1,200 people. And then that third ad with the picture, the other picture, reached 727. So all of which had post clicks of over 10% based on that post. So that tells me that people are interested. They're like, hey, who is this guy? They're clicking on it. They're watching the video. So now I can literally go into those 3 different videos and see which one is getting the best click-through rate, right? Because that's ultimately what matters, is which one's getting the best response. And I'll turn the other 2 off. I'll just simply adjust the third one, the one that's left, and I'll have it to where it's now, instead of just going and them watching that movie, it'll give a call to action. I can literally edit the post and edit the boost to add a button to say learn more, download now, and I can send them to my website. I can now, right? I'm doing the 5 C's that I've taught before, except I'm doing it in an unconventional way. So this was the collect, right? I was collecting a group of people, like I was finding a new pool of people. So I was collecting them, and at the same time I was generating interest. And then the next part of it is to now capture their information. So now by checking out the water, I can figure out which is the best pool, which pool do I want to go and swim in, right? Because that's really ultimately going to be the determining factor on which ads, which videos I keep running and that I promote, right? That I put more money to. So questions, Chris, I want you to be able to field any questions that come in. If you want to open up the Q&A, or I guess you could just look at the chat, however you want to do that. So you probably have to do a stop screen share to be able to do that. So any questions on what we've done so far in this campaign? Because I'm going to let this campaign actually run through today into tomorrow, because tonight is just the very beginning of the event, right? So the 6-figure summit has been occurring. People are getting registered even right now, and the event starts in about 2.5 hours, right? So the opening of the event from 6 to 9 this evening. So I'm going to let it run all the way through this evening, let it go all the way overnight and into tomorrow afternoon, so that wave carries through. You have to hit stop up at the top, Chris. There's a button along that green bar that hits stop. You have to actually hit that button to stop sharing, so that it stops that infinite screen. There you go. So any questions in the comments? Or
I don't see any questions. They can see us and hear us good. Now, I did have a couple of questions for your interviews in pre-daily coaching this morning. Did we lose you? I think we lost Bert, guys. This is really tricky when you're on the road and someone's here at home and trying to do this. I'm sure he'll come back in. Now.
All right, sorry, Chris. Someone was trying to call me. When someone tries to call, it kicked me out there. So what was the question?
There's a couple of questions in pre-daily coaching for you to ask anybody that you can interview.
Oh, okay, yeah. Isn't germane to what we're doing right here, but yes, I'll get to those when I can stop and I actually get to the hotel. I'll pull those all up before I actually get to the event.
Okay.
So I'm talking about, is there any questions that are germane to what we're doing right here, to this ad campaign that we've been running, that we've been working on?
There doesn't seem to be right this second. So
does that make sense, at least to everyone, of what I did and why I got it done up on the front end, and then now I'm going to go and try to capture their information. Now that I've generated some interest over this next little bit, now is the time where I'm going to actually go in and start to actually collect, right? Or capture their data. Does that make sense?
It does. Since I wasn't on Monday, I did not see your process. So this is very interesting to me, exactly what you're doing with this. And it makes perfect sense now. Whoa.
Oh, it's just someone. It's in Vegas. It's under the overpasses. Everything makes noise like that.
Well, the streets are probably hot too.
Yeah. So the whole idea is that literally I'm just creating buzz up front to create some momentum, and then from there we'll go, right? We're now going to take the next step. So some people would say, hey, you're spending too much money. Like, you're spending money up front here and there's nothing coming from it. Like, nothing's being generated from it. But ultimately I'm going to, right? I'm going to generate. And so it was part of the process. So I accepted the fact that up front there was going to be a little bit of a cost where I was going to spend 15, 20 bucks, whatever that number ends up being, to be able to generate some of that initial enthusiasm to then get a better response on the back end that I want. So
yeah, Whitman said that when he first saw the ad, he was very curious and wanting to know more.
Well, the ads are simply the videos that I posted on my Facebook page. So I already showed them. We just showed them on the Facebook page. There's those 3 different videos. That's it. All I simply did was boost those 3 posts to the people at the event that I'm going to be at. So I didn't try to capture any information, right? I didn't send them to a website. I didn't send them to a capture page. They could go and like my page, my personal, my fan page. From that action, they could go do that, and they could watch the video. That's it. Or they could like the post or comment on the post. Other than that, that's it. It didn't send them anywhere. I was just trying to create this buzz of who is Bert Bledsoe, and this whole campaign of, like, who is this guy, right? So that they start seeing my logo, they start seeing my deal. It's so that when I get to the event that they then recognize me face to face, right? So it's to provide a little authority online before I get to the event. And then now that I've piqued their interest online, now I'm going to go and capture their information. I could have done it all in one process, and a lot of people do, and a lot of times I do it all in the same entire process. The only reason I set it up different for this is because for this specific case, for this specific funnel, I'm doing this to generate momentum going into this event, so that people are seeing the logo and they're getting curious, and then all of a sudden now they're going to see me at this event. Right? So that's really why I'm doing it.
Whitman asked, did you target the same audience in all the videos, or were they separate?
Yeah, so I kept one thing consistent. So I'm targeting Eric Worre's GoPro group, right? Network Marketing Pro. And then each video is target that, and then one subset interest group. So a speaker. So Robert Kiyosaki, Tony Robbins, Ray Higdon, right? One of the speakers.
Okay, I understand now.
So they're all targeted to 2 interests. One of the interests being Network Marketing Pro and Eric Worre, right? Like that, it's a combination. It's one thing. And then the other is like one of the speakers.
Right. That's brilliant, actually. I think. So
that's it. That's what I did. So now we just look at the numbers and it tells us which one is getting the best return. And so then we just keep that ad going, right? That's the one that's going to, when this target thing is done, and I'll let it run all the way through tomorrow to make sure, right? To see. So I have the entire test run, and then whichever one is the best one, that's the one that I'm going to use that image for that mark of what I'm doing, right? For the rest of the weekend to go and capture. Because I know that was what drew the most interest.
Yes, absolutely.
Right, and I could even, I could even once I figure out which is the best image and which is the best like demo, which interest gives me the best, I could then run all 3 images to that one and figure out which image of those 3 is the best one. So I could do literally both. So hopefully this gives you guys a better idea of exactly what it is I'm doing. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to make some little, I'm going to commit to making a few updates per day throughout the day, not just on this, but the entire event. I know that people have been submitting questions. So what we're going to do is 2 different things. I'll record those questions and answers, and hopefully I'll get some really good video footage just separately with that. And then in addition to that, what I'll do is I'll throw up a couple blabs if I can on my phone, and also, or we'll hit some periscopes as well. And we'll do them live from the event and from around town here in Vegas so that everyone can kind of check it out and get the experience. So you can see, guys, gals, I'm committed to doing it. I just set this up where my screen is normally, and you guys can see. I don't know how good that showed to you guys, but you can see that we're cruising, right? We're just cruising right down the strip. And I wanted to bring this to you guys, and I wanted to make sure that we had follow-up, because I know in the past we've had some issues with getting all of our work sessions done. So that's it for today. We will join back up, and I will give a little bit more of some tips here as we continue through the weekend. And I'll be continually looking at the ad that I've got, and also I'll give you guys some updates in the free daily coaching group as well. And I'll just let you guys know what that looks like. So it'll be kind of code, because no one else will know what we're talking about, but you guys definitely will. So
Well,
unless we,
as far as I can see, that's split testing at its best.
yeah, I mean, I'm trying to keep it so it's really, really simple, right? That's the easiest way to do it. And then you get a real concise, clear idea of what it is that you're doing.
Okay, well, I'll be here all weekend to be your liaison whenever you need it.
Awesome. All right, guys and gals, thank you for joining us. I know this was an abbreviated session. Don't worry, we're going to have some bonus sessions, and we're going to do some fun stuff while I'm here. So once I get checked in and get settled here, go get my ticket to the event and get locked in, I'll sit down and I'll put some time aside, and we'll decide when we're going to do that, and we'll make some announcements in the group, because I'm looking forward to bringing some exclusive fun stuff just to the friends of Free Daily Coaching that will just exclusive. So pretty excited about that. Something that we've never done before. So we'll see you guys the next time. Bye-bye.
Bye. And don't forget, Shouts in the House in the morning. I'll be doing free daily coaching in the morning, and I can't wait to see you guys. Until then.